Welding is the process that we're going to use to fuse two pieces of metal together. When you guys start, the first thing that you're going to practice is just running a bead. Welding is probably the process that we do that has the most safety equipment involved with it. Because there's such a big risk of both of physical burn, where something actually catches on fire, and then some sort of sunburn or burn like burning your eyes, we have a lot of equipment that we're going to need to wear. We have leg guards, we have gloves, and we have a jacket that are all made out of leather so that it's going to prevent your clothing, if a spark hits it, from catching on fire. It's also going to protect from some of the heat, and any area that you have uncovered skin is going to keep that from getting sunburn. The other thing that we have is a helmet. Again, the helmet's also going to protect a flame type burn, so it's going to prevent your skin from getting burned from a spark or something like that, and it's going to prevent you from getting some sort of sunburn. It also provides protection for your eyes. There's a lot of helmets that are available where you have to flip up and down the visor, so it's got like one darkness, a shade, and you flip it up when you want to see in the light, and you flip it down when you're ready to weld. These helmets are smart helmets. They are controlled to auto adjust, but before you start, you always want to push the reset button inside to test and make sure it works. It'll go kind of black, and then it will lighten back up. Usually the light in the room isn't bright enough, but if you move it towards light, it should kind of auto darken. You'll be able to tell real quick if your helmet is or isn't working. So the first step in the welding process is making sure you have all of your safety gear. Second thing you're going to do is going to be to get your machine set up. The machine, we have the voltage power supply, so the body here is the voltage power supply. Inside here is your wire feed system or your wire feed. On the inside, you're also usually going to have a guide that tells you what speed and what voltage to set it at. This particular machine, all you have to do is set it according to the thickness of the material that you're welding on, and it will automatically adjust. The other machines, you're going to have to look inside the lid, and it'll tell you how to set it up. The setting is kind of a ratio between the diameter of the electrode, which is the wire that you're using, the thickness of your material, and then the type of gas that you're going to be using. So the last component is going to be, or the next component is going to be our gas supply. There's a valve on here that shows you kind of when it's on or off. The handle on here you need to open. Once it's cracked, it's open, so it doesn't necessarily need to be open all the way. You don't have to loosen it all the way. Once you open it a little, it's open all the way. So I'll loosen that up. I check to make sure that my settings match. So on this machine, I just have to set the thickness of the material. I don't have to worry about all those other factors, so I have that set. The switch is usually going to be down on this front panel somewhere. And then coming out of here, you have your electrode and your clamp. So in order for welding to work, you have to create an electrical circuit. You have to clamp this on to whatever it is that you're welding. You might have to clamp it to the individual piece. Most of the welding benches are metal though, so if you're working in a metal space, if you clamp this to the metal workbench, that will work. Sometimes that may not be strong enough and you might have to modify and clamp it to your piece, but that's one of those troubleshooting things that will kind of come up. The welding gun, your electrode is going to come out of it, so you're going to see the wire sticking out of it, and you'll notice there's a hollow area around it. That's going to be where the gas comes out. The point of the gas is to keep the welding area kind of clean, and it's going to prevent it from getting like a slag buildup that you'll have to scrape off later. So, once my machine's set up, I have my safety equipment. I'm going to go ahead and put my safety equipment on. I'm going to put the leg guards on. You want to make sure that the flap goes over your shoe. You don't want your shoes catching on fire, shoelaces catching on fire. And again, this is all leather designed to be as flame resistant as possible. The jacket, you want to make sure you button the jacket all the way up. It may not be the most comfortable, but especially if you have some sort of V-neck shirt on or sweatshirt, you don't want to get sunburned. So you want to cover up all exposed skin. This does go all the way up by the neck, so it does seem silly, but you really want to be covered up. It does not take long for this to burn, so it will not take very much for you to get a sunburn. You have your gloves and your helmet. On the helmet there's a knob. You can adjust it so that it fits to the size of your head better. So you want it to be snug fitting. You still need to wear safety glasses. So even though you have the helmet, you still want to wear safety glasses, and then the gloves are going to protect you. The gloves you might want to put on last. It's going to be hard to kind of maneuver and set things up while you're wearing those gloves. So I'm going to clamp this. I can either clamp it to my workpiece, so if I want to work on just as an individual piece, I can clamp it to that. Or since I do have a metal workbench, I can clamp it to the metal workbench. The types of welds that you guys are going to be doing are going to be a butt joint, so where they're just right up against each other, a lap joint where they overlap, a T where it's in the middle, a corner, and then we may have you try some other welds, but those are going to be the most basic ones that you guys are going to do. The first thing that you're going to do before you actually fuse two pieces of metal together is practice just running a consistent bead. Now before I actually weld, just to kind of give you an idea of what you're going to do or how you're going to stand, I'm right-handed, so I hold it, I kind of use my left arm and support underneath. My right hand's going to be what's on the trigger. I'm going to come in at like a 45-degree angle, and I'm just going to go, you'll go like in little circles. So you can either go right to left, or if I really wanted to, I can go the other way and work right to left. If you're left-handed, kind of switch it around the other way. So the goal is you want to be able to see kind of where your electrode is, and you want to be able to see that work area. Again, it's going to be very bright. You're going to have your helmet on like this, but you want to go in that kind of circular motion so that you're going to be fusing two pieces together. When you have two pieces, you want that 45-degree angle so you can come in and you're getting about half of it on one piece and half of it on another. You want to fuse them together, so you got to heat them up equally. So for a weld, I need to put my gloves on. And I'm just going to practice running a bead. So I have my gas on. I want to flip on my machine. The lights are going to be on so that you know that it's working. Flip down my helmet. I can still see, so I'm going to see what I'm doing. And I need to squeeze the trigger and keep moving all at once. So it's a little bit tricky. If you hold it in one spot, sometimes it'll get stuck. Once you have it on, if you squeeze the trigger, the electrode's going to start coming out. You do not want a long electrode, so if you aren't paying attention, you have to get a wire snips and cut that off. You really only want it sticking out like 1/8 to maybe 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to keep that nice and trim. Again, make sure your skin is covered up. When you guys do this, you're going to want to be in the welding booth because other people in the room can get burned, so we don't want to run into that issue. So I'm going to get my piece closed. Nothing happens until I squeeze the trigger. So right now nothing's happening because I'm not squeezing the trigger. When you squeeze the trigger, it completes that circuit. So I'll squeeze the trigger. I'm going to go in little circles all the way across. If I get too far away, you'll see there's kind of a popping that happens. The gas isn't really doing its job because it's so far away from the workspace. Or if I stay too close, I might get stuck and it might get clogged and my electrode will get stuck. So I want to kind of keep that distance to keep it moving. I'm going in little circles. And you have your weld. It is going to get pretty hot, so you want to be careful. Even with the gloves, you do not want to set your hand on this. You're going to want to get something and carry it over to the sink to cool it off. Once you've gotten your welds approved, you can set up one of your joints. You might need to use some of these bricks, but you're going to come in and same thing. You're going to just fuse them together. If you need to, you might have to go back or change your angle or move it around. But that's basically going to be welding. If something gets stuck for whatever reason, before you do anything to this nozzle, you always want to turn the machine off. So if something happens and something's stuck or something's not working right, shut the machine off, and then we can troubleshoot from there.